Welcome back to the Balance Beam. I'm your host, Naketa, Thigpen, and as always, I am super ecstatic, excited, and thrilled out of my skin to be here with you. I feel like it's been forever, yet it's only been a week. Interesting, right? I know. I'm excited to be here, especially because I had the opportunity. You guys didn't get all the good stuff. I got the good. So I promise to give you a little bit of the good. To sit with an amazing woman. We had such a good conversation. We almost forgot to push record. Like, all right, it really is about balance beamers. It's not about us. And we were just having such a good time loving on each other. Nancy Lorch, I love you to life already. She's an amazing health and wellness coach. She is an author. She is a speaker. She is incredible. And her degrees and certifications outreach mine, which is bizarre because I thought I was a lifelong student. She beats me times 10. Nancy, welcome to the Beam. How are you today?
Well, I am honored to be here. Tina is right. We've already had a blast just talking about life and work and kids and balance and so many opportunities and other people. I feel very blessed to be here. So thanks for joining in. I feel especially blessed to be able to share with you my kind of journey in nurse coaching. I've been a registered nurse for 30 plus years, and knew right away that nursing had many challenges in front of it. Most of all, listening to the patients. I felt early on that was missing because we just got so caught up in the tasks. So I did, as Naketa say, go on to get a nurse coach degree, and I am a certified holistic nurse. And everyone asks me what that means. It means that for true healing to occur in the person, mind, body, and spirit have to be aligned. And when they are, we can just blossom and we can help heal ourselves. So that's why it was important for me to embrace holistic nursing and become a nurse coach. I started my company, Your Path to You, Health and Wellness Coaching, so that I could help others gain control and take responsibility for their health, which is what I think this world needs. We can no longer rely on someone out there to heal us. We need to start taking control by the foods we eat, by the lives we lead, by the habits of health that we, on a daily basis, choose or not choose to make. So I am passionate about that. One person at a time, making America healthy. If not,
I like that. One person at a time, making America healthy. That's a really good statement and a personal mantra. Because a lot of us want to do things in, aggregates, right? We want to do it with chunks. And sometimes you miss that one person who's been standing there saying, but I need help. And I need help in a different way, especially when it comes to health and wellness. I think that that's a challenge because everyone has their little particular, nuances of why they've been on yo-yo. I'll just pick on women for a second. I know they're not the only people who need help, but the yo-yo diet that's associated with the life of a woman. As you get older, you've tried everything under the sun. I have a friend who said, I had never heard of it before. She tried something called the oxygen diet. Have you heard of the oxygen diet?
Yeah. How's she doing with that?
Yeah, that didn't. Yeah.
I always say, how's that working for you?
Right.
But I applaud her effort to see that she needed to make a change in her life and to take a step to do that. That's what's needed. That recognition and that honesty with ourselves. I recently took that mission, and I thought I really led a healthy and pretty engaged life. But I had an aha moment about 2 years ago when I said to myself, wow, you're eating healthy, you're exercising, but your stress level's pretty over the top, Mm-hmm. Okay, granted I was moving, granted I was starting my own business, but I'm driving my car one day and I was listening to an audio tape out of Cleveland Clinic, and they were talking about telomeres, which are at the end of our DNA, mm-hmm. telomeres. And He actually said, you have a choice daily whether or not to extend your telomeres, which would extend my life. And not to get too deep here, but I was like, wow, I'm killing my telomeres. And for me as a scientist, that resonated with me. And it was like, crap, I can do everything else right. But if I'm not taking responsibility for getting my stress under control and the way I react to things, then I'm doing myself a disservice and I'm not totally optimally healthy. So that's when I made a choice to really start getting more into mindfulness and living in the moment. And this stuff works. I can't even tell you how even happier for me. And I'm a pretty optimistic person, Naketa, as you know.
I know.
Being in the moment and letting the rest go and compartmentalizing it and say, yeah, my problems are going to be there, 20 minutes from now. But right now, I have an opportunity to talk to this really cool person in line at the pet store. And they're telling me their challenges in life and they're being open, and I'm there listening as a vessel for them. It's pretty cool.
Exactly. No, I'm a huge believer in mindfulness, and you're absolutely right. From a scientific nurse perspective, with all the biology, the stress-induced illnesses that could come up, the things that we could exacerbate that were genetically already there that didn't have to be triggered, but our stress triggered it. There's so many things that we can eat clean, we can exercise all we want, we can make love plenty, we can make sure that we have, all things in alignment. But if our stress is not taken care of, you're 100% right. And I think that it matters that you experience that because it makes you a greater coach. It makes you more empathetic, and it makes you more in alignment with the compassion that's needed to understand why someone is having difficulty grasping their aha moment. You had your aha moment in a very scientific way when you were listening to something that most people would be like, what? What is she talking about? What is this telemeters? It sounds so dissertation like. And you had your aha moment. Some people have their aha moment when it's too late and they're in a hospital bed or they're losing someone that they love. So it means something for your passion and for your purpose. It's fuel for you to make sure that you take that experience without it being a crisis experience and using it to help other people just every day. Like you said, being in the CVS or the Rite Aid or store and listening to someone, you're actually applying your aha moment. And that matters, Nancy. Like, that's amazing.
Right. Well, thanks. I appreciate that because again, you can look at people and think, they're in good shape or they this, but, it's really about the person and their journey. And an aha moment that I had years ago was relating to the physical was my sister was very overweight. And she was 8 years older than me. And you had actually asked me before about my family. Okay, I guess I'm going to go there. Anyway, my sister Pat and I were very close growing up. And somewhere in her 20s, 30s, she started to gain weight. And she struggled with it for her life. And what it brought about was a whole host of chronic diseases. And you could truly see the whole trajectory of starting with arthritis, starting with arthritic knees, starting with back pain, neck pain, hip pain, getting into high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, which brought its whole host of issues, etc. And she passed away on her 53rd birthday. Of a heart attack, which I'll be honest, Naketa, was my truly biggest fear in life because I could just see it and I couldn't reach her. I didn't feel like I had the tools. I would try to help her and support her. I tried not to come across as judgmental but it's hard when you do have the knowledge and you can see it so clearly. So for me, that was a halcyon moment because I knew right then that I needed to help other people. My mission in life, I was driven to help other people change what they could change before these chronic diseases took place. And done a lot of different things in my nursing career, from working in acute care in hospitals, to rehab centers, to even selling pharmaceuticals, cardiac medicine, which was stupendous at the time, calcium channel blockers to open up people's hearts, which aligned very well with helping my sister. But most recently, 7 years in home care. I had the privilege of going into clients' homes and helping them effectively make changes and better daily choices. And that was very inspiring and hard. But I could see how they could really make a difference in their lives. And I've seen people get off blood pressure medications. I've seen people get off diabetes medicines and just have a whole new life. So I feel like I honor my sister when I do that. And that's why I started my business, in a nutshell. That's why I started my business called Your Path to You, because it's all about their path. It's all about them and what they wanted to change. And when you said what I wanted to improve upon was being mindful and less stress, and everyone has their own story.
Absolutely. And yours fuels you, Nancy. That was so, I could see the passion and the promise in your eyes as you were talking. The promise that you made to yourself, that you did in honor of your sister, however long ago it was when you made it, and the passion that's attached to that. I could see it. And that means something. That it wasn't just, something that you thought looked good or it made sense. And it does make sense because you're a nurse, and be a nurse to be wellness. I mean, everything lines up. But it's so interesting that your background as a nurse would just be part of the pre-qualification process for where you are now, which is really interesting. And you would think, because obviously most health and wellness experts don't have your level of expertise, let alone your degrees and your certifications or your experience when it comes to the corporate world with pharmaceuticals and all that, the research world with oncology, and then obviously you have that patient experience with home care, in addition to the many other layers that came. And it's all so interesting, was just a pre-qualification for where you are now. And so many health and wellness coaches are, wanting to be certified and registered nurses, and they're trying to go it the other way. So it's so interesting that this was just in alignment with where you were supposed to be spiritually.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Naketa, because to me, I have my moments when I beat myself up and I'm like, God, why didn't I do this 30 years ago when I was in the hospital and saying, what do you mean I can't talk to the patient? She's going through surgery. You don't have time to talk to them now. Well, I really would like to alleviate their fears and help them. So I went into psychiatric nursing, and I did that for 3 years, and I absolutely love that. But I do know now that everything has aligned for me to be here now at this point in time, between my psych background, between my strong nursing background, my coaching, because for me, I have a true belief that yes, I have a lot of knowledge, but each client has the answers inside of them. And for me, that's what is so brilliant and so exciting, because I'm a guide, I'm a facilitator. Mm-hmm. I help them figure out what's best for them. I don't have to wear my expert hat all the time. I can take it off. And that's a dang good relief, because it's like, I don't want to have to know all the answers. We know inside. We just need someone to help. So I said, how can I get paid to be a motivator? How can I get paid to be a coach? How can I get paid? Well, yeah, that's exactly what I work with you hand in hand. And one thing I'm really excited about is most recently I started partnering with a nurse practitioner named Lois, and we are business partners working as independent health coaches for a company, Take Shape for Life. And we help clients not only lose weight, but we help them obtain optimal health for them. They learn habits of health, Naketa, that they can use to literally change their lives going forward. And it's so much more than just the weight reduction. It's how can I truly, truly drink 8 glasses of water a day? You put a system in place.
That's right.
It's as easy as a system in place.
Yep.
My client yesterday likes water, doesn't mind it, but she said, I just go in the refrigerator and I don't know how much I drink. I said, would you be willing to buy a water bottle? No, I don't like drinking from them. Okay, how can we make it work for you? Something as simple as in her refrigerator, she has a beautiful purple type bowl. She's going to separate that on the right side of her refrigerator. She's going to put her 4 16-ounce water bottles in that section. And when she goes in, she's going to know, oh, I have 1 left. I have to drink that today. That's it. It's simple when we put strategies in place
Yep.
to make effective changes. And that's what I could help with, because I'm all about that, making it easy and fun.
Well, you made it work for them, right? You customized it, because that's what balance is. It's my balance is different than your balance, and there are some staples like everyone needs water. You know, she needs water. She needs water to flush. She needs water to hydrate. She needs water for energy. But she has her own, little devices that pop up that make her not want it. So you customize the experience for her versus maybe I would have a different experience and we both have the same water hydration need, but we need to get it in different ways. That makes so much sense. Is that some of the stuff that you're going to be talking about at the Healthier You conference coming up this fall?
Oh, and I was just going to bring that up because I'm thrilled to be speaking. It's October 10th. Thank you for letting me share. And I would like to just add a little background story, because I became connected with Kristen Motley, who is a pharmacist in the Delaware Valley region, who I believe as a young woman is doing amazing things, because she's a pharmacist who saw the need, Naketa, to help clients, number one, manage their medications, because as you know, it can be exceedingly overwhelming. Number two, she's taken it a step further. She helps them work through the whole chaotic process of getting them cheaper and affordable, and even goes so far, and this is what I absolutely adore about her, helps them get off some of the medications. Here's a pharmacist who believes in her heart that she wants to help them get off the medications, because she's seen that, like me, she goes into their homes and does have clients in her office, but goes into their homes, and sees people that, why are you on this? How has this been helping you? I don't know why. The doctor told me to go on this. She's seen people with all these chronic diseases that are not being addressed. So she had this vision to help them, but also to start a conference, a Healthier You conference. And this is the 2nd annual one, I believe, right? And
this is the first annual.
Okay, well, then she was doing mini ones. I stayed correct. She was doing mini ones in the community as part of an outreach to help them, and she's really committed to this. You're right. This is her first big regional one. But the idea is that if we can help clients to see that they can, in many areas of their lives, just make better daily decisions, they can live not only longer, healthier lives, but they can enjoy their retirement. She saw a lot of clients that were plagued with these chronic diseases, and they were retired, but they couldn't move as well. So they couldn't, go on a vacation and relax or move for like a mile, or basically just go to doctor's visits a lot. And I think she's making tremendous changes. So yes, this is going to be a really kick-ass conference, if I can say ass.
Absolutely.
Saturday, October 10th from 8 to 4. It's at Newman University. And there'll be, probably, I think, 13, 14, 15 speakers, or a whole array of topics. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. And I cannot wait to hear the inspiration that's going to come out of there. My talk is on mind, body, and spirit.
Which makes sense considering your background and your passion area.
Exactly. So I will give them attendees very practical, very simplistic learning and committing to, I'm going to have them fill out a prescription of their own choosing for one mind practice that they can employ starting that day, one practice with their body that they can do that day, and one spirit. And what's exciting for me is that spirit, religion, no, it can be connecting with family, it can be connecting with nature, things that people don't even always think about. So I can't wait to share that. That's going to be really fun.
That's going to be amazing because it's important. And even when people don't realize they need it, they do. But everyone who's going, I'll be there. I'll be outside jumping on the trampoline. I already told Kristen to make sure she had one just for me with my name on it in purple sparkly colors. I love to rebound on the trampoline. So that's
I owned one, man, and the rebounding is so good for your lymph system. It's so good for your lymph system. I can't even tell you.
That's right.
Move it all around. Oh,
it's the best. It's the best. I love it. And I told her I wasn't coming if she didn't have one. So she's having them like a whole little stationary park just for me because I'm spoiled and Kristen loves me.
How could you not love you? Come on, with your energy and your passion. So and Naketa, speaking of balance, I have to say I am truly inspired, and I said this to you off air, but your level of energy and enthusiasm and passion for what you do to help other men and women get balance in their lives, personally, professionally, balancing the two, boy, that is really hard. And I think that's kind of at the crux of it because, you know, being a successful businesswoman, being a successful businessman, you can't compartmentalize like that. You know, we have busy lives outside of it. We have family obligations. We have, you know, other personal obligations. And if the two aren't in sync, working together, integrated, I don't think you stand a chance. I just don't. So I love what you do, and I love the energy you bring to it, and how you have such an impact on so many people. Because I will tell you, not only, as you know, does it affect the clients that you're seeing, but it affects their families, helping them, and then their children, seeing that, well, daddy's around and mommy's around, and, you know, what I can teach them and what they role model, and we can help. So you're profoundly helping the next generation as well, honestly.
You're about to make me cry, and I try not to be mushy on camera because I don't have any hair that I could cover up my face and play it off. Thank you. That is awesome. That really does. It matters to me when people recognize energy and effort. And I don't see myself as special. We're both helpers. We're both givers. So I know we feel the same way. We're just I took my position and I'm playing my part, no matter how small or how large it may be in the moment. But I'm grateful that it's affecting at least you. And hopefully other people as well. And my intention is to make a ripple effect in this world, that my impact be that deep that it ripples. And not because I want them to remember my name. I just want them to really, truly change their behavior so they can improve their lives. So I'm so grateful that you said that.
But that's what it's about. It's about making small changes. You know, it doesn't have to be this grandiose, huge, but, and again, I do it from a health standpoint. You know, I finally have I've called myself a health and wellness coach for a while, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Health and wellness? Like, you know, wellness really is the conscious daily decision, the daily decisions you make, you know. Am I going to go out and walk the dog? Or am I going to sit on the couch? I sit on the couch, but I also try to walk the dog. You know, it's those daily decisions that add up, and it's the daily decisions that you help a client to make in their life that, man, those little ones add up. And all of a sudden, you know, they can be way more productive, you know, if they've taken care of those small things. So it's truly a win-win. It really is.
It is. People have to see it that way, though. But right, you know, because it's the same with health and wellness. Sometimes they don't prioritize themselves, and the excuse is, and I think we were talking about this off camera. Actually, I'm trying to remember if it was off or if it was on. and we were talking about that normal versus necessary. And they're like, oh, well, it's just normal for me to feel this way after 40. Or, I expect it because my mom or my father or my sister, they dealt with these behaviors. So I know it's going to come. And it becomes their reality. And it doesn't have to be. But it's the same with balance. Like, oh, well, this is, I work a full-time job and I live in America. Of course, my life is off balance. It doesn't have to be. It's all about what you choose to accept and how you prioritize making the difference. So you can affect your pets, your kids, your spouse, your siblings, your relationship, or for those who are not dating, you might be dating if you had more balance. Those things matter. But it's one of those self decisions that we all have to be in a place to make and to get to and kind of swallow that appreciation of its time. It's time to put me on the list. To your point about the prescription at the Healthier Conference, like, let me take this prescription for myself, because if I'm not well, I can't do what I want to do to the best of my ability.
Right, right. And sometimes it also is taking a little bit of leap of faith. My husband was in decent shape. I mean, he'd probably been, at his high, maybe 25 pounds overweight, but he's a tall guy, so he wasn't that obvious. Maybe he had, more of a stomach. But, he recently has lost probably like 25 pounds. And what I'm most proud of for him is about a week ago, he was sitting at the kitchen table and he said kind of something that resonated with me so profoundly and touched on what you just said, is that he said, I didn't realize that I could control aging. He said, I thought aging was something that just happened to me. Oh, well, I'm, my balance is a little off. I'm not as flexible as I used to be. Oh, well, on the tennis court, I can't get that shot as easily. Or I'm slower when I'm running. He said, I now know that I have control over that. And I can't even tell you how, oh my gosh, my heart sank, because that's the crux of it. And now you can see how it's just affecting other areas of his life, feeling more confident with this, or I can do that, or wow, look at me, I'm touching my toes, I'm down on the floor playing with the dog. It's really, seriously, one little shift like that. And yes, you have to be ready, but God love him, he was ready and he's worked at it, but he's also taken a leap of faith.
Exactly. And that's part of the ready is, are you willing to go where you can't see? Like, are you willing to go around that corner and see what's there? I used to tell a story years ago when my daughter, she's 14 now, my youngest, which but a lot of balance viewers don't know. And I don't know, she was probably 7 or 8 years old, and she was really giving us a hard time about riding a bike. She really wanted to do it. She saved up money to buy this type of bike that she wanted and everything. Like, she was so focused, but then she had this fear of when I start trying to ride and we lived on a corner, so you kind of had to take the corner or end up on the corner, one of the two. One of the two was going to happen. She was so afraid of turning the corner. And I said, well, Messiah, what's on the other side of the corner? So you walk this corner all the time. What is so scary with the corner? She was like, I don't know if I'll be able to control the bike. And it was really about her fear of losing control doing something she wasn't familiar with. Because on the street, not the street, the sidewalk, it's just straight. You could see everything. But turning the corner, even though you've been there before, you're just afraid that now, because you're doing something new, whether it's health, wellness, mind, body, spirit, that it's going to be something different on this corner this time for some reason, which it is. There's a freedom there, but it can be really scary, right?
Unbelievable. That is such a great analogy. And I can just visualize it. Her going. And now it's like, oh crap, gotta go now. Gotta go now. Gotta turn. I don't know what's there, but mom says it's okay. I can do this. Mom's empowered me. And I know you have. Mom's empowered me. Mom said I can do it. I can do it. Oh, wow.
It was a pretty powerful time. And she did fall and she scraped her knee. And I prepared her for it. I said, the worst that's going to happen is you'll fall. What? I don't want to fall. What's the worst that's going to happen? The worst is you're going to fall.
Prepared her for it, though. You prepared her for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it. Wow. See?
Yeah. It's important. And I think, if people would take a leap of faith and hire a coach and stop asking their neighbor for questions, answers for everything, and actually go to a source, someone who's an expertise, you can get prepared too. Like that's part of the process. But we'll try to get all the, other people's experience. She wanted to go by her brother, who's 3.5 years older. Oh, well, well, he's been taller than me since he was 13. So you can't compare your 3 foot nothing to him. He could stand on top of 2 bikes. Like it's just a different experience.
And he probably, it wasn't even for him, probably even irrational. He just probably went like, I didn't think about it.
Right. It's
So
not. It's just,
you won't relate. It'd be like, yeah, oh, that's funny.
and it's so weird how our fears will keep us from making the next step or even for asking for guidance, which was to your point earlier. You guide people, but you're not going to guide someone who doesn't want to be guided. You have to ask. You have to put it out there and say, listen, my name is Naketa Thigpen and I struggle with this. And I see based on you, clearly you have the experience. And I saw you on the balance beam or the other radio station or the other interview, or I read your blog, or I watched you at the Healthier You conference when you were presenting, wherever it is that you encounter, because you get everything you need. We just have to open our eyes and pay attention to it. You have to put it out there and ask. Otherwise, they're just someone else sitting in the audience, hiding, fading to the back, that you won't even know needs you because they didn't ask.
Well, thank you. Oh boy, that just, I'm speechless, because that is the essence of it. That is the essence of it. And it's literally setting the intention for what you want and need. It's you just have to say it. You just have to say it. This is what I need right now. I set the intention to get healthier, and there are so many people out there that will help you. And it's when we keep it inside and feel shamed, feel embarrassed. Don't expect that people are going to understand. Coaches, especially nurse coaches, will listen. And that truly is another differentiator between a good coach and a coach who's not so good. I would want someone who's going to listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me what you need. I don't know what I need. Okay. Tell me what you need. Let's talk about it. Let's explore that. What's working for you right now? What could be better? And by listening, nurse coaches listen deeply. And I think that is such a big, important component. We ask powerful questions. And I know that hasn't always been the case when I've been to experts, people where I'm seeking answers. And acceptance. You have to accept yourself first. You have to love the person you are right now. You can't not love the person you are now. You might not like things about yourself, but you have to love yourself just as you are now. And that really is, to me, what it's about. And I have to say, talking about without deliberate planning, you start to acquiesce to others. I don't know. Where did I hear those words before?
I don't know. It must have been someone really bright and energetic. I don't know.
In your own reality, Naketa. Honestly, without deliberate planning, you start to acquiesce to the forces around you. That's exactly what it is. Whose life do we want to live? I know it's trite. We have this one great life, but man, that's it. This is what we have. And it's like, you can either take charge of it, and as I like to call it, become the CWO, Chief Wellness Officer of your own life.
That's awesome.
Start being the CW of, each of us, instead of looking for the answers out there. Know in your heart, you have the answers in here. You really do know what to do, but they're so clouded, everything that's around. And like you say, other people's knowledge. And sometimes, yeah, you might need a health coach. I hope you need me, and people like me to help peel away to get it. but the answers really are within. And we know. We have to listen to that voice. But I love what you said. Without deliberate planning, you start to acquiesce. It's so true. I don't want to acquiesce.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm not acquiescing anymore.
I know that's right. Me either. I made that decision. It's so interesting you brought up 5 a.m. Club because this morning, which of course this balance beam won't play until around October 1st, but 5 a.m. Club this morning, we were talking about your go through. And I talked about having to respect where you are in the process, whatever that is. Yeah, no matter. Wait till you listen to it today, Nancy. Like it for me, because I don't watch myself ever. That was funny. I don't watch myself ever, and I don't listen to myself as often. But once in a while, because my husband will nudge me, like, go listen to that so you can, be mindful of, again, when I get excited, I talk really fast, all that. So he's like, slow down. Everyone doesn't need to go at the same pace. I do it all the time. I'm like so excited. And also when I'm nervous, I do this. I have the same.
You mean you're not perfect?
No, of course not.
I don't want perfect. I banned perfect from my vocabulary 2 years ago. Yeah, no perfect.
You are perfect when you are 6 feet under. And I do not plan to be there because that's the only time you're not making a mistake, right?
Yeah, but finish. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No.
But that's the whole idea of it.
That's the whole idea. Yeah, absolutely. And just wait till you listen to it from this morning. You're gonna be like, oh my God.
I will not. It will not surprise me because I do believe that there are. Serendipity. I actually started getting into health coaching with because I went to I've always been a writer, and I went to a American Healthcare Journalist Conference in Boston. So almost random. Like, what the hell? Where are you going? It's in Boston at the seaport. It's a nice hotel on the water. And there I met a woman who had been in the nurse coaching, and it was like, boom. One thing leads to another, and it's just you're in the right place because you're called to it and you listen. And so it will not surprise me, but I have to say, I'm telling you, when I read Kristen's bio, I was like, oh my gosh. I've been there counting out 32 medications at a client's house and just wanting to scream. And she has gone out there and done something to make a difference. I love that. Love it.
Well, that's what matters. And that's why I'm excited to see you there this fall, which will be awesome. Speaking of which, you only have a few weeks left between now and then. So how are you planning to relax? Like, are you thinking of your favorite place to stay? Like, what are you doing? I love how the corporate part of you was like, we'll be convening. We'll be convening.
Here, someone from there. We started to make it all work because it was, how do you get people from all over in the family? And we did it last year successfully, and we'll do it again this year. And yeah, it is. And when my family gets together, you have to know it is truly a convening, Naketa, because it's like everyone's talking at once. People are talk about talking fast. My husband from Connecticut's like, okay. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty funny. We all laugh. We all talk fast. It's yeah. A lot of energy in the room.
Which I would expect from you because you have a lot of energy on your own. So I would expect that that's what you would attract to you, especially genetically.
Yeah, it's I have a really neat story about that. I have a lot of stories, but growing up when I moved from New York to Boston, I was 22, 23, and sitting at the kitchen table with my dad, and he said, "Nance, how are you feeling about moving and all that?" And I was like, "Well, I said, Dad, And I don't know where this voice from inside my head came to me. Never thought of these thoughts before, but all of a sudden it came to me, and I said, Dad, I don't know anything. I don't know. I know one person in Boston. I don't have a job. I don't have a place to live. Yeah, you know, but I'll tell you, I will always surround myself with good people.
Mm.
It was like almost a spirit, like in my head, like I will always surround myself with good people. And that's been my mantra. That's how I live my life. I feel like if you have good people around you that align with your, it doesn't have to be, values, yes, but it doesn't have to be, politics or
Right.
religion, but they're kind people. They're funny. They don't take themselves too seriously. They're interesting like you. We laugh, we talk shop. We don't talk shop. We sit and just stare at the water. I'll be fine. I think that's truly what it's all about. I've always loved meeting new people, and I think the fact now that I get paid to listen to people's stories, because I've been trying for my whole life to figure out, how am I going to get paid to be a coach? And I never used the word coach. It was more like a cheerleader, but not in the cheerleader sense.
Right, right.
How can I get paid to do that? Because that's what I do. I love to motivate and support and guide and connect. I'm a huge connector, and I love it. So yeah, surrounding yourself with good people, man. You want to get healthier, surround yourself with healthier people.
That's right.
You want to have balance in your life, have people around you that have balance in their life, that are moving toward that. It doesn't have to be that they achieved it, but you're talking it, you're living it, you're trying, you share your triumphs, your joys, right?
Yeah, there's no such thing as achieving balance ever. Like the reality is if you're a human on the go and you have at least one thing that you have to focus on, whether that is work, business, a spouse, a child, a pet, whatever, you have to think of someone beyond yourself every single day, every hour, regardless of what your emotions are, regardless of your health, regardless of your hormone imbalance that might be happening given a particular time of month if you're a woman, all the different things that happen. There's never this epiphany moment. Like I'm a balance expert, no question. I have tons of tools and tricks and tips and techniques, but I work at it every day. And every day I make a mistake at it. And I accept it and say, how can I make the next hour better? Not just tomorrow, but the next hour.
I love that. I love that. It's so easy to look into the future and to, often get paralyzed or often just spend so much time in the next hour. That's brilliant. I have to remember that even.
Thank you. Look, I have to remember it too. I'm special. No. So I have to ask you before we wrap up, because this has been amazing as always, what would you recommend is a good read? You weren't waiting. You were ready for that one, right? What would you recommend is a good read, Nancy, that someone who is dealing with health and wellness challenges and who needs a more balanced perspective in it, that they would really prefer from that book?
Wow. Okay. There's a lot of books written out there now, about health and wellness and, the best diet and all that kind of stuff. And I guess hands down, the one I've just read and I'm still reading and still referring to is Dr. Anderson's Habits of Health. Dr. Wayne Anderson's Habits of Health. And it so aligns almost eeringly well, Naketa, with my beliefs and my core philosophy, in that they really are truly habits of health. And it's so scientific based. He was Dr. Anderson was the, I think, 10th critical care doctors in the country to be board certified in critical care. I mean, we're talking, major way back. Imagine that now, just, 10 critical care docs, but he's brilliant in that he approaches it so, straightforwardly, and um, the science, balancing out your meals, eating every 2 to 3 hours, when you're talking about, PMS, and I think a lot of the world's ills, and I'm really serious about this, if not only if people ate better, cut out a lot of the sugar and
Yes.
fats, but if literally we could just smooth out and not go 6 hours without eating, your blood sugar is just going to tank. You can't make rational decisions when you have no fuel in your tank. I had a roofer come last week. God love him. He's up on my roof. It was 10:30, 11 in the morning. He hadn't eaten. The last time he ate was 7 p.m. the night before.
Oh.
And I mean, there's nothing in his tank from 7 p.m. until 10:30 the next morning. And so it will give a lot of tips to take care of yourself and habits of health. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances, healthy connections. All three have to be aligned. The trilogy of health is brilliant. Thanks. That's a good question.
No, you're welcome. I was thinking about it because I know you read a lot. I know you're a prolific reader. You're probably like me. I have a book a week basically that I'll go through. Some take me a little longer because my books can be very girthy. But I know that you read a lot, so it's often hard to narrow it down to one. But I thought about what we've been talking about with all the health perspectives and what can throw people off balance personally and professionally. And a lot of it comes down to health. So you were the reason I created that question just for you.
I honestly, I because you can read so much out there. It's honestly overwhelming. And we need good information simpler. That's it. We just need it simpler. And that's it. It's the essence, getting to the essence.
I agree with you.
Straightforward. I can't even tell you how fun it's been actually conversing with you. I cannot wait to meet you in person.
I'm excited. 10/10/2015. It'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
I love your energy. Yes, so Healthier You Conference. Oh, can I give you my website?
Yes, I was going to say, tell us how we can follow up with you.
All right, so my website, Nancy, NANCYLORCHRN.TSFL. T as in Tom, S as in Susan, F as in Frank, L as in my mother-in-law, Laura. TSFL.com. She's a great mother-in-law. So reach out to me or by phone, 978-505-5656. I would love to work with you and to help you create the health that you want in your life, because it's all about you. It's your path. And anything I can do to facilitate that, guide that, support that, I'd be honored. So.
That is awesome. Thank you, Nancy. You are amazing. We'll make sure we have everything in the show bill, on the blog, and the write-up for iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Woo, woo. That's awesome. I'm so excited. I'm grateful that you took time with me this morning, that you came to share your nuggets, your life, to be raw, to be honest, to be open. I didn't expect anything less. And I'm so grateful that I got exactly what I expected from you this morning. And balance beamers, this is the time. We are in the last quarter of the year. A lot of you have made challenges, thoughts, all these plans, and you have not necessarily hit the mark on all of them. If any of them are related to your health and your wellness, I implore you to get some guidance. Connect with Nancy. When people reach out, take it as an offer that you're willing to accept instead of waiting for an opportunity to miss it again and then say, woe is me. Let's not do woe is me as we lead into 2016. Unfortunately for all of you, you know that I'm always going to be raw and honest, no matter how ugly that makes me look. It's okay. I don't want to be liked. I want to challenge you to greatness. So your next challenge is to connect with Nancy Lorch. All right, that's my challenge to you for this quarter for 2015. Nancy, you were amazing.
You are funny. Oh, you are so funny. I can't. You are so funny.
I'm so serious.
I thank everyone out there for listening, though, and keep listening. Naketa is just offering rock solid advice, and I know we're sounding like rah rah here, but to each other, but it's rare that you get that honesty and that genuine passion for what you do. I really, really, really think it's awesome for a young person like you. Just saying. Just
I know
saying.
that was a stab, y'all. For all you who don't know, she thinks I'm really young. She keeps calling me young.
Yeah, I gotta go. I have clients to see. I love you very much.
I love you too. Nancy, stay right there. Balance beamers. Stay tuned for more tools to infuse. So yeah, so we're planning a huge health conference, October 10th. Save the date. It's a full day conference, and we're really the purpose of the conference is to really get people to make small changes in their life now. So just small things. You just have to do something now, so that you can see the difference and you can see the payoffs in 10, 20, or 30 years from now when it's time to retire. I used to work in long-term care, and I was responsible for traveling to different nursing homes in the area where I had to do chart reviews and check on the medications that all the residents were on. And I was shocked at the number of people who would spend the rest of their lives in nursing homes who were in their 50s and their 60s and their 70s just because they had a heart attack previously or a stroke previously. And those things, for most of us, are completely preventable. That means we could do something about it. We can change the course that we're on. And so the conference is to really inspire people, empower people, give them the knowledge, the tools, everything that they need to make small changes now so that it'll pay off and they can actually enjoy their retirement down the road. So we're doing a lot of hands-on workshops. We're bringing in some great speakers. We have an awesome keynote speaker, hands-on cooking demonstrations and fitness demonstrations. It's going to be an awesome event. So we're really looking forward to that.